Hey, folks, my guest today is James O'Neill. He's the co founder and CEO of WildJar. It's his first startup, 100% bootstrapped, launched in 2016, and he's a passionate and driven with an appreciation for IPAs and APIs. I love that. James, you ready to take us to the top?
Yep, ready. Thanks for having
All
me.
right. What is WildJar? What are people paying you for?
So we're a call tracking and analytics platform. So when customers search online, everything's very measurable through digital analytics. But when the customer picks up the phone and calls, there's a disconnect between what they've done online and that offline journey and conversation. So we help businesses understand which digital marketing channels drive inbound phone leads, what happens on the calls and the conversations, and then integrate that call data into whatever technology stack you're using. So CRMs, analytics tools, you name it, will be there. So
In December 2020, when we chatted, you mentioned that the average customer is paying about $1,000 per month. Is that still the average?
yeah, it's actually pretty much bang on. So
Okay.
we've gone through a few changes with how we've approached the market. We started as a product led platform, and we shifted to hiring some people in sales development teams and tried to go down that sales development outreach way, but it didn't really work for us. So we've shifted back to pure product inbound strategy, and it's the best model for us. So sticking to
So
that.
let's talk more about inbound in a second, but first let's get the output right of great inbound. How many customers do you have now today?
300 as of last month billing, it was 304.
304. He knows the number exactly. Okay, I love that. And can we take the 304 times $1,000 a month? You're doing about $300,000 a month in revenue.
Yeah, so we just did 310. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. All bootstrapped, right? You own 100% with
Yeah.
your co-founder.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you create an option pool for employees still just to get them some upside or no?
Yeah. So not from like an exit point. We've definitely talked about it. There's nothing in writing, but we've had those conversations internally.
Mhm.
But we do every month we have a 5% of gross profit as a share. So that goes to employees every month.
Okay, tell me how that works. So on 310,000 of top line revenue, how much you take to the bottom line, and then how do you split that up usually?
Yeah. So gross profit, I think last month was about 12,000. So in terms of 5%, so that 12,000 split between the team
Yep.
as commission. So we don't pay commission to. We've only got one sales.
Well,
Um,
James, sorry, is it 5% of 12,000?
no, so 12,000 is the 5% of our gross
Oh, I
profit.
see. I see. Got it. So if we take 12,000 times 20, right? You guys did like, oh my gosh, you guys are very profitable. You did like 240K of like gross profit last year, 5%, or sorry, last month. 5%
Last
is
month.
12 grand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then how do you decide who on the team to give what portion of that 12 grand?
Yeah. So we set it pretty early. So we're fortunate that we haven't grown too many people to complicate it yet. But so at the moment, so we share it differently. So sales gets more because that's more of the growth side, and because there's no individual commission on sales.
Yep.
So that's how we set it from the beginning. It's worked really well because it also means people who come into the business can also share immediately. But it also means and the main reason why we started it that way wasn't more from a sales point because I was the only person doing sales, but it was more of our support and technical and implementation side where the quicker they get things done as well, they know that if they help customers faster, close support tickets faster, they also share in that revenue that comes on because we're a very sticky product and we are it's a growing product. So the more numbers and minutes our clients use, the higher their profit and revenue to the business. So
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your Founder Path dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right, so the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of Founder Path, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here, and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. So how many folks are on the team full-time today?
We're at 6. So
6,
we went from 5 to 10, and then so there was 3 new sales and like a customer success, and we've brought it back to 6.
I mean, you're doing 50,000 in revenue per employee per month, which is just like exceptional, world class. 4 to 5 times what your VC-backed competitors are doing.
Yeah. I know, it's exciting when you put it down in numbers. This is why I like doing this, because you get to really go into the numbers and look at it, and it's exciting. I mean, we love it, so it's we wouldn't change it for sure.
Let me ask you guys, as co-founders, you still have another $200,000 of profit you're making every month. How do you decide how to allocate that capital? Do you pay it out to yourselves as dividends? Do you keep it in the business? Do you go buy other smaller companies? What do you do with it?
So, I mean, we have been looking to acquire. That's definitely been on the roadmap, and we've identified a few businesses, and debt's pretty easy at the moment too. So we're looking at possibly doing a bit of a debt raise there to do it. But at the same time, it's we have shared profit as well. So we've taken it in different times to help each other out, and so we've done that too. So it's only been more recently that we've decided to do that, because there's no point just keeping it in the business. We've invested in another startup, so we did help fund that. There's another sort of charity business that we've put money into, so we've gone through that.
Okay, so you're doing a variety of things. That makes a lot of sense. This is great. Now, talk to me about the acquisition stuff, right? So when you look at companies to go acquire, considering your stage, what are you looking for?
Similar businesses. There's our competitors. A lot of them have been around in market for a really long time, and that's where we're winning a lot of our business is from competitors who haven't evolved, and their platforms and products are still they haven't moved forward, and they're still on old systems. Some of them haven't even moved to say like AWS and cloud-based, and so we know that we can go in, migrate their platform to our platform. Maybe not everybody and not do it seamlessly, but we know because we're winning so many businesses from them that we can do it pretty easily. And also,
so you go buy an extension where you'd kill their code base, transition their customers from that other billing system onto yours, and paying for your tech stack, your code base, your product.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what we're looking at, and then also other complementary. I mean, SMS is this huge remarket for it again, through e-commerce and the like, and because we are technically carrier, we started to do a lot more SMS. So we've bundled in sort of SMS products off the back of voice products. So if a call goes into a business and they miss a call, we'll immediately SMS the customer and re-engage with them, and it's just more revenue that is adding on to it. So looking at other SMS providers, and then we can also just cut that cost back because they're usually paying somebody like us to deliver the SMS. So we sort of buy that to acquire them that way. So
what about the flip side of this? If someone came to you guys and offered you guys 40 million all cash upfront to sell the business, do you sell?
I mean, look, when we built the business, we kind of thought 5 years because that's, I mean, you say 5 years, but we were genuinely like, 5 years. We're not salespeople, and I think that's what we realized. Trying to hire salespeople, we're very much product, and we're very passionate about what we do, but we're not very good at training salespeople. So if somebody did come to us, it would have to be a good fit where they can implement a sales strategy, put us into those sort of tools, then we'll do that. To give you an idea, that in market right now, there are competitors, US ones, to look at winding up a few of platforms like us to do something similar.
This is like sales ops of the world, or
more so like if you look at the US, so like Invoker and Dialogue Tech, they've done that. There's in the UK, there's Infinity and Response Tap have combined, and they're not really combining to say remove. It's just more just to bring revenue together. And so there's a few others who are trying to do it. But it's interesting you said sort of sales log, because none of those businesses do what we do. And we do everything before the call actually comes into the business. That's where our IP sits. And that's what we're really good at. All of those other businesses, it's around like what we're doing now is having the conversation and bringing analytics in the conversation, which is really, really important. But in a buying cycle through a website, people have been searching for 3 months or a month. And then as soon as they call, it goes into the contact center and they have that information, but they don't know what the journey has been like before. So we're now integrating into like a dial pad and the talk desks and those cloud-based contact centers to enrich their data, so that when we send it to their agent, we say this customer has come through a Google paid ad. They started their journey X months ago. They've called 3 times. So then when I have a conversation, it's more meaningful as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that also, if you end up doing that really well, they're all going to want to buy you, right? So that's great leverage for you. Yeah. Talk to me about churn, right? So what's gross churn and what's net dollar retention?
So churn, so like a logo churn. So because we went through that sales, we have churned more than what we traditionally did. I don't have a number, but a net dollar retention has definitely gone up. So when I worked it out, it was like 22. So I think 122%.
Okay.
So it's quite.
It's great. Still that's great.
Yeah. It is good, and it's we actually know it can be better. And the reason why it's not is we've changed our onboarding a little bit too. So we offer, we don't say free because we like to entice them to say that they will stay. So we waive the first month or 2 months invoices to onboard them, with an idea that they would obviously stay on. And by doing that, obviously there's that cost incurred on that side, but it's quite a competitive market at the moment. So it's been good for us to onboard clients easier that way. So,
well, James, again, congrats on the growth. It's impressive to watch you guys bootstrapped. We're out of time. Let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, favorite book.
I don't read enough, but we did Traction recently. So that was quite good. So Gino Wickman, I think it was. So that was quite good for us. And I think we'll stick to it. So I'll go with that.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
No, not really at the moment.
That's okay. Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the business besides Wildjar?
Slack, 100%. Yeah. We do everything with Slack still. I think I said that last time, and yeah, it's amazing. So
number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Well, I just had another baby, so I wasn't sleeping much at all. It was about 3 or 4, but back to about 6. So 6 is been good. Yeah.
So nice. So you had 2 kids last time, 3 kids now, married, and what, you're 37 now?
Yeah, 37 2 days ago. And so I flew from Singapore to Scotland. So I had like a 45-hour birthday. So just kept on going, which is quite good.
Man, well, happy late birthday. I'm sorry you're stuck in airports, but man, that's wild. Last question, something you wish you knew when you were 20.
Um, uh, I mean, we're doing it now about bootstrapping, so not thinking about the bigger picture. And I know you've been pushing it a lot, but it's true. I mean, you don't have to be the biggest business in the world, and it's something that we just want to aspire to be a really, really good, profitable business. So, if we did this earlier, I would have loved to have started doing it earlier. So,
Guys, there you have it. James at Wildjar playing aggressively in the call tracking, call implementation space. They're now working with, call it, 304 customers, paying on average $1,000 a month, doing $310,000 a month in revenue, profiting gross profit 240, which is amazing. Profit sharing plan with the team. They split up 12% of that 240K, which is fantastic. Good incentive there. They're doing all that revenue, 3.7 million run rate today with just 6 employees. Incredible revenue per employee. Beautiful example of a Bootstrap founder doing it right. And by the way, growing faster than some of their VC-backed competitors. They were at 150K of MRR just 2 years ago. So doubling over the past 24 months. Really impressive, James. Thanks for taking us to the top.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Nathan.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers. They try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.